Hi, it's me, Amy INFP, and I just wanted to talk to you guys about the quiet of winter. I'm sitting by the water, and it's very beautiful. It is cold, it's minus 12 degrees as I'm recording this. My fingers are freezing, but I do have my gloves on. So I think that I've been getting into the Christmas spirit and everything. I've been at psychiatry today, and it was interesting. We talked about some pretty deep stuff. I think that it's quite beautiful that everything can be so quiet and harsh. That's one of the things I actually like about living in Sweden, is that, it is kind of harsh weather. Not everybody manages this. And I think that it does bring out the harshness in people, but it also brings out kind of like the goodwill of people, I think that in the colder climates, like, people have to be a little bit more introverted, since you're often more isolated from people in the world. I think that we INFPs, we have this darkness in us. And we're okay with it. I think that other people are maybe not as okay with it as we are with it ourselves. Like, we are okay with going into the darkness. It doesn't mean that we are depressed always, just because we get into our moody modes. Sometimes we have to go into that deep place in order to get some insight. Sometimes I get the sound of like the ice cracking, and I'm a little bit scared. But yeah, I think that we need to appreciate that bit of us being introverted, needing time to process things, being moody at times, feeling our feelings deeply. Oh God, I heard ice cracking, but like, I am on firm ground. I'm not on the ice. Let me show you the other side. So all this is just ice, and this is where the ground starts. So there's somebody biking down the hill. Wow. Imagine biking in this weather. That's something only a Swedish person can do. Let's go back to me. Yeah, so I am freezing out here, so this won't be a long video. I like this video because, like, I've got a great view here. Like, look, I can focus on these little ducks. I found some nice spot over there. And I got some time for reflection because I actually finished work early, since my lectures finished early. I do think that a lot of INFPs have thought about a lot of stuff, which sometimes just never think about. And that is extremely clear when it comes to people who have who are my fellow doctors who have not worked in psychiatry. Like the people that are in my group, they sorry, I'm getting distracted by this. There's like this ice bit that's floating down the river, like an iceberg, a mini iceberg. But you can see that some people have just never thought about certain questions. Some people still have some old-fashioned views about mental illness, and they're just like, they're like, oh, how can a child be suicidal? Well, that can happen, Children don't only have happy thoughts. Or other kinds of questions. I'm not saying that they're dumb questions. I'm saying that kind of like they're questions that maybe people should have asked themselves before actually becoming a doctor and working at psychiatry. But other questions have been like, should people, how do you ask people about if they're suicidal? And the question is, well, how direct should you be? And actually, it's good to be pretty direct instead of just like, skirting around the subject. It's better to like actually say what you mean. So I'm glad that those people ask those questions, because otherwise they wouldn't know. But it's kind of like some people can't imagine other people's situations like at all. They're like, oh, this person is not sad because somebody died in their family. Well, that can happen. Some people don't feel close to people in their family. And there are other people who feel like their whole life falls apart if some close friend dies, Or if their dog dies, or their cat dies, or their pet turtle dies. And some people will cry more at that rather than if their actual mother dies, You kind of have to throw away with all these social norms when it comes to psychiatry. And I think that a lot of people, if they've never been exposed to it, then they just think that everybody has it the same way that they do, the same values that they do. So I think that in that way, we INFPs have an advantage in like that we know that the way that we think isn't the way that other people think, and our values are different from other people's values and all that kind of stuff. And we are comfortable with being in that dark spot. We are comfortable with the depression and the ice cracking and the coldness, the harshness. We're comfortable with being there. We might get anxiety about it, but we're not afraid of dark emotions. What we're afraid of is like harshness coming from other people, I guess, or like difficulty in like quick changes, having to react very quickly to things, having to take action. We are pretty scared of that. But I don't think that we're scared of having the emotions. It's just that sometimes it might come at an inopportune time, like in front of your boss or that kind of thing, and then it's like kind of ruining your life. But in general, we accept all kinds of emotions, and that's why people love us, I think. And so you have to love the winter in order to get through it. Otherwise it's just a cold, dark month. That's not all fun. But if you can like enjoy the sight of white, so much white around you, Like, you can be sad about the loss of color, but like at the same time, the beauty of the branches. Let me show you the branches out here. I can't really show you the branches, but the branches are covered in snow, and they're all bare, and everything is under hibernation and soft and quiet. And I'm actually being too loud here talking out here on my own. You see old people like walking around with their walkers, and they're going slowly because they know that there's no rush. Time kind of stops during winter. Everything gets slower. The animals hibernate, and the ice like covers the grass and forces everything into a state of slumber. And everything is just paused until the revival of spring. But that doesn't mean that everything is dead. The water keeps running. The stream keeps flowing, even though it is under ice, you know. The stream of life keeps passing. But we can take it easy, you know. We can retreat into our own homes and have a nice time, you know, have a cozy time. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go home and pour myself up. But I wanted to show you guys how nice winter can be, and that it doesn't need to just be a harsh time. Like, there are a lot of things that you can only do in winter, like go on a sled or go skiing, or drinking a hot chocolate. Well, you can drink a hot chocolate in any season, but it's best during the winter. Just walking in the snow and hearing the sound of the snow squishing under your shoes. Tasting the snowflakes on your tongue. Like doing all the Christmas holiday things, of course, but even when it's not holidays, you know, there's so much to enjoy about winter. And I can also enjoy the ice, even though it's easy to fall when there's so much ice on the ground. Like, it's really slippery. But it is pretty in its own way, like in a hushed, subdued way. I like winter because it's like harsh and brutal at times. And it's also very hushed and quiet at other times, like soft. It's soft in its harshness. So yeah, tell me what you guys think. If it's winter where you live, what do you like about winter? I'd be interested to see what you guys have to say. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.